For all patients admitted, excluding newborn and NICU, a PRN order for normal saline in a 250 ml, 500 ml, or liter bag will automatically place for procedural use upon admission. Make sure to gather your supplies. You need an appropriate size bag of saline, your antibiotic or piggyback to be infused, your primary and secondary tubing, gloves, alcohol, and Curos. Be sure to introduce yourself and do the appropriate hand hygiene. If maintenance fluids are not running, you will pull the appropriate size NS bag from the Pyxis and scan the bag. Once the NS has been documented, the appropriate charge will drop. Remember, you only scan the NS BackPriming fluid bag when it's pulled from the Pyxis and used for the first time. You do not have to scan the bag that is already hanging. Once you've primed your primary tubing with your normal saline, program your primary infusion to run at an ordered rate of the piggyback with a volume to be infused of 20 ml. This will flush the medication through the IV tubing. In order to prepare your secondary container, close the roller clamp on the secondary tubing and spike the secondary container. Hang the primary container lower using the hanger provided with the secondary set. Roller clamp your secondary tubing and then spike your piggyback bag. You'll want to swab the top of the Y-site port on the primary tubing above the IV pump with the appropriate antiseptic and attach the secondary line to the port. Then to back prime, just lower the secondary container to a level below the primary container. Open your roller clamp on the secondary tubing and you should be good to go. Allow the fluid to back prime from the primary container into your secondary tubing. Then close the roller clamp once the secondary tubing is primed and the drip chamber is about 2/3 full. Then just hang your primed secondary container back on the IV pole. Now you want to program your secondary infusion. Just set the pump to infuse your ordered antibiotic or piggyback using the drug library and start your infusion. Here's an example. If you have a 100 ml bag of Flagyl that you want to give over an hour, your normal saline would be set at a rate of 100 ml per hour with your volume to be infused of 20 ml. Then you set your secondary rate at 100 ml per hour with a volume to be infused of 100 ml. Always use your drug libraries. Just don't forget, open up your secondary roller clamp, and once the infusion is started, make sure the drops are falling from the secondary drip chamber, not the primary drip chamber. Your secondary bag and tubing should both run dry. You should use the same secondary tubing for all of your piggybacks. And don't disconnect the secondary tubing from the primary tubing. Remember, always label your tubing. It's good for 96 hours. Don't forget to place Curos on all of your open ports and a blue cap on the end of your primary tubing if it's INT. Here's a look at hanging your next piggyback using back priming.